Macho talks sports now. Macho talks sports. Macho talks sports. Macho talks sports.
We here, baby. Welcome. Let's vibe out for a second. We got a hell of a show for you tonight. Sit tight. Just vibe out for a second. We're going to get right into it. Don't worry. So, we are freaking here. Welcome to Macho Talk Sports episode 17. As always, I am your host, Macho, and I'm here with my boy, Daniel Flores. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, bro. Doing great. Enjoying this beautiful Florida weather while everybody else is freezing their you-know-what off. Just living life, man. It's good to be a Floridian, especially after this weekend, and we had some New Yorkers in town, but it's all good.
There's always New Yorkers in town when it comes to Florida. You know that.
Is true.
That's little New York, especially Orlando and stuff like that. Like it's heavily. That's the first thing I noticed when I first moved to Florida. To Florida. I thought it was just my family, and that was like 70 people right there alone. But we all out here.
Yep. Good people. We love you guys. Man, you guys are loud. And sometimes I enjoy it. There's other times, like on Saturday, where I'm like, you know what?
Oh, man. Shout out to my baby. Shout out to Lou. What's good, brother? The biggest Jets fan I know right there. Biggest Jets fan I know. But like I said, this is episode 17 of Macho Talk Sports. We got a great show lined up for you guys. But before I start, make sure to hit like. Make sure to subscribe. And don't be afraid to comment in the chat. Like, obviously, we have a bunch of topics that we're here to talk about. But feel free to chime in if you got something that you want to say about the topic. You just got a question or whatever. We're here. That's what we're here for. This is a group project, and I expect everybody to chip in. So, like I said, we got a lot to get to tonight as Week 12 of the NFL season is officially in the books. And one of the biggest stories coming out of Week 12 to me is actually a player that didn't even play in Week 12. How does that work? Well, Joe Burrow is back. He missed 9 games, right? 9 games due to a turf toe. I don't know about you, but that's the most games I've ever seen missed due to a turf toe. Normally it's like 3 or 4.
That's true, but dude, those turf toes, they're bad, bro. They hurt. They really, really hurt.
I can imagine. I know if it's MetLife turf toe, then you probably be out for a couple years.
Yeah, that's not turf. That's just a broken leg. That's what that
is. Best show ever. I'm not even into sports. That's right. You know it. Now listen. He needed surgery, right? And he was likely going to miss the whole season, honestly, the way they were talking about it at first. Then the report came out a little bit later after he was placed on IR that he might be able to come back. The caveat with it was if the Bengals were in playoff contention, basically. If they had something to play for, he wanted to come back. He wanted to be on the field for his boys. Mm-hmm. Now, Bengals playoffs chances are very, very damn slim, but technically they're still in it. But my question for you to kick this off is it too late?
Of course. Of course. Their playoff chances died a long time ago, man. But as we know, respect to Joe Burrow coming in, right, and saying, hey, I'm a football player, literally is what he said. I'm a football player. I get paid to play football, regardless of the injury. It's a physical game. I'm gonna be out there for my boys. So I huge respect for that. As far as their playoff chances, yeah, dude, that died a long time ago. Unless they played the Steelers like every other week, then maybe we could split, and then both of us will make it at just 500.
Right.
But as far as Joe Burrow being like their saving grace, yeah, man, it that offense was putting up numbers with Flacco. But as we know, that's not their issue. That is not the Bengals' issue as a football team.
Well, 100%. I agree 100%. I think their playoffs chance are toast at this point. But like you said, much respect to Joe Burrow for wanting to even get on the field after coming off of something like that, where most people would just phone it in. We got nothing to play for. I'm going to potentially go out here, hurt myself further. I'm the franchise quarterback. The window is my whole career and all this stuff. So it's like, for you to want to put yourself in the situation where you could potentially get hurt again, but you don't care because even if it's just a 1% chance, I want to go out there and play for my boys. So I do respect that part of it for sure.
Yeah.
You look at the rest of their schedule though. I mean, they're 3-8 to start it off. And then they got the Ravens twice. They got the Bills, the Dolphins, the Cardinals, and then the Browns. Now 3 of those are divisional games out of their last 6, even if it is the Cleveland Browns. Not only are the Cleveland Browns one of the best defenses, but that division you guys always beat the hell out of each other, no matter what the records are. So that's going to be a tough game. Those 3 are tough. The Bills are tough. Now, even when it comes to the Cardinals, I don't know if anyone watched the Cardinals versus Jags game, but that Cardinals team is pretty good, especially on defense.
It is.
It's underrated, bro. It's honestly underrated, and that game was actually really good. But I could see the Cardinals giving them some issues, especially with the way that Jacoby Brissett has been playing, and Mike Wilson looking like wide receiver 1 out there. Like this isn't an easy schedule at all. This is way too late. It's way too late. But credit for him wanting to even play.
Yeah, just looking at that schedule, and you can say, Lamar Jackson, that's 300 yards. Josh Allen, 300 yards. Lamar Jackson again, 300 yards. Tua, doesn't matter, 300 yards. Jacoby Brissett, doesn't matter, 300 yards. Shadur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, whoever the hell the Browns have at quarterback, does not matter. 300 yards. I mean, that defense is ranked in the bottom of absolutely every single statistical category. They're either 31st or 32nd. Take your pick. Doesn't matter. They're last. It's just they're bad.
It's bad. And one of the bottom defenses up until just a couple of weeks ago were also the Ravens, but the Ravens have kind of turned it around on defense a little bit for the past 5 weeks. They went from like the bottom of everything to right around that middle point, which is an amazing drastic difference. Obviously you want to be higher than the middle when it comes to these type of stats and stuff like that, but just going from the bottom all the way to the middle is a huge jump, and then getting Lamar Jackson back on top of that.
Yeah, they were dead, but not no more.
They rose and I mean we kind of answered this. We don't think that the Bengals have a chance, but let's dive into the whole division here. I mean, like we said, the Ravens are coming back. The Ravens have just won 5 in a row. To come back and tie your Steelers for first in the AFC North here, some might say this is the hardest division to predict, and to that I say, watch this, because we're about to predict it. So I want you to tell me, what do you think is going to happen in this division? Who's going to finish first, second, third, and fourth?
All right. So last week I went on to say, and even the week before, watch out with the Ravens. The Ravens have a very winnable schedule. All they had to do was survive without Lamar, and they just barely did. They were dead in the water. They managed to escape a win with Huntley. I believe he actually got him a win with that whole Lamar Jackson mess and then all that. But now, again, it's been 5 games. They've won all 5. Now they get to play the Bengals, and it's a Thanksgiving game, and they can put points on that Bengals defense. Doesn't matter if Burrow throws for 500, 600 yards and 8 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson will have 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. It doesn't matter. They can't stop anybody. Now, yes, it is in the division, so anything can happen. And Bengals are playing spoiler, so I'm I'm rooting for the Bengals this weekend. You never heard me say
Oh,
that.
I'm clipping that.
We can just no. Doesn't help that this is on live and then on YouTube.
Yeah.
Eternity, as we know. But anyways, yeah, I honestly still think, regardless, the Ravens actually kind of win the next three. I even think they'll take care of us as well. It's just we're so up and down. The Steelers are so up and down. Like, don't be surprised if yes, we lost to the Bears. Yes, it wasn't pretty. It was Mason Rudolph, but anyways, just it. I don't know. It could just come down all the way down to the last game where you can see Ravens Steelers to where it can decide that last one. But yeah, dude, I have the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, and then Browns actually as 1, 2, 3, 4.
That sounds about right. So you got the Ravens winning the division here. Most like okay. The question.
Yes,
I should probably know the answer though, but you guys have 2 games. If you guys split those 2 games and end up with the same record, what's the tiebreaker? Is it the whole division? Like how many wins you got in the whole division, not just head-to-head matchups at that point?
If I think the tiebreaker is it is division, and then from there
division.
I think a strength of schedule. But
Okay.
as of right now, the Ravens technically are in first place because they have a better division record, and that's because they've only played I think the Browns and
That's it.
I think they played the
got
Browns. Yeah,
all 4
so they won
games.
both. Yeah, so they're 2-0, and the Steelers are 2-1. So that's
Got
like
you.
the whole tiebreaker right there.
Damn, that's tough.
but
That's tough. Okay, and then last question. Actually,
not looking pretty. It really is. It's not looking pretty.
How is Rodgers' hand? I mean, I know he was talking about trying to play last week, but
moving forward, I think he'll be fine.
okay.
It wasn't a major break. It was a slight just fracture in his hand. He was trying to play this week, and this would have been the team to play because he absolutely loves playing the Bears. He loves just killing the Bears pretty much. But he just couldn't go. He's going to be in a cast. I have a feeling that he'll be back. I don't even think maybe for the Ravens, possibly call it for the Dolphins. He should be back. So I don't foresee him playing the Bills. I don't foresee him playing the Ravens. That's maybe he will, maybe he won't. But I think we're writing Mason Rudolph for the next 2 games, and then Rodgers should be back. But by then, it, the division's probably lost.
So that's the biggest thing for me. Like, if he doesn't come back for week 13, cool, because I think there's a very big chance you guys lose to the Bills regardless. So it's like, why? Let's give him that extra week to heal up and stuff like that. So I would like that. Now, if he's not back for week 14, because that's going to be one of the most pivotal matchups is week 14 and 18. Obviously, the people that you're competing with indirectly is the Ravens. So both head-to-head matchups are going to be super important when it comes to this division. If he can come back for week 14, I think that in a head-to-head matchup, you guys have a very good chance of beating them. Is it like a foregone conclusion? No. But I can see you guys winning both of those games, honestly. The biggest thing is Rodgers going to be there? I don't think Rudolph is good enough to beat the Ravens. But if you guys, I'm assuming he gets back for week 14. If I give you wins for both of those Ravens games, then you got the Dolphins. That should be another dub. Then you got the Browns. That should be another dub.
Should be.
So if you go 4-2 in these last 6, I'm gonna give it to you guys. I think you guys end up going and being number 1 in the division. I think the Ravens will be number 2, with the Bengals number 3, and then the Browns number 4. Now, the funniest thing to me is I feel like the Browns, looking at these schedules, might have the easiest schedule of all 4 of you teams. Just trying to double check it. Yeah, to me, do you see it that way as well?
Out of us 4, yeah, for sure. the Titans really would be like their only cupcake game, but those both offenses are terrible, and that defense is going to make Cam Ward look like,
Yeah.
he's going to have a tough
RIP.
day.
But I could see the same thing with the 49ers and the Bears game because the defense is so tough, and Purdy he's just so injury prone right now.
Correct.
And with the Bears, I we'll talk about them a little deeper later on into the program, but the Bears, I don't think that's a foregone conclusion that the Browns just lose it, unless they want to lose, of course, and they're trying to get draft position. But I think if they're both going at it, there's a good chance the Browns could probably come out with a dub.
Listen, if the Browns wanted to win, I don't think it matters. They just lose. That's what they know. that is what they do, regardless of like they've had historical defensive showings. And I even Myles Garrett, I think in the last 4 games he's had like 13 sacks, a bunch of tackle for losses, all this, and it's just it's emptiness in the win column because of that offense. Is the Browns just can't figure it out, just like the Bengals can't figure it out on the defensive side. If they were to merge those two teams, oh man, look out.
Incredible. That's a Super Bowl contender. I can see a world. I mean, I'm still going with the Browns last, but I can see a world where the Browns finish ahead of the Bengals. I could really see that. And now, obviously, the Bengals are a better team, but just because of the schedules as well, where the Bengals have some pretty tough matchups. The Bills go against all 3 of you guys, except for the Browns, coming up in these last couple of weeks. Actually, not the Browns, the Ravens, but then the Ravens got the Pats. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I do have the Steelers winning the division, though. Now, when it gets to the playoffs, I think we know what's going to happen there. But listen, at least you get invited to the dance every year. Like, you should be happy.
Should I though? You know, I go to the dance and then I leave alone, if you know what I mean.
As a Jets fan, I'm watching you from outside though, then through the window in the rain. You don't know if I'm crying or it's just raining hard, but it's both.
Yeah, that's true. And I know we've had this conversation a million times where you're like, why in the world do you want to lose? It's just I hate being mediocre, man. It absolutely sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
We're not feared, and yet we're not bad. It's again, we're good and we're consistent at being almost good. That's literally the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They need to put that on a t-shirt. But let's continue with the mediocre theme here. The Eagles lose to the Cowboys. The Eagles now fall to 8-3, which I mean it's a great record. But if you've watched these Eagles this season, this isn't an 8-3 team. This does not look like a playoff team. This doesn't look like a Super Bowl team. And this game was them putting up 21 points and then just taking the rest of the game off. Just completely took their foot off the gas, fell asleep at the wheel, and then the Cowboys just ran all over them and did whatever the hell they wanted to, especially George Pickens. My question for you, though, when it comes to these Eagles, is this the last dance?
With those 4 guys, yes, because I think it's AJ Brown's probably gonna force his way out. I you know, the comments and all that. But Nick Sirianni, what it seems like he's good within the chaos that is the Philadelphia Eagles. And they're still 8-3. They just won the Super Bowl. They were in the Super Bowl a few years ago. All these stories were just constant. But now they have such an elite defense. But their offense just sputters. It's not great. Jalen Hurts is not. He's just yes.
Go to these.
I know. I hear it. I know he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I know he's been a winner in college. He's been a winner throughout his entire career. Frankly, he's just not that good.
He's not. He's not.
He's not that good. And it could be the system. It could be him. He's just not trusting his eyes. It could just be literally just absolute beef with AJ Brown, because there's plays where he's running butt naked, just open, nobody around him, and he pulls it down and runs, or the classic just overthrow for whatever reason that's become a betting point now. How many overthrows over AJ Brown will over under 5 or 4. They're just not good. And going up, right? They were up 21. They were up 21. Yeah, to the Cowboys. And the Cowboys, they do have like I think the best offense in the NFL. So you can't hold them down for long. And with the Eagles, I mean, who's the Bengals? If the Bengals were to wake up on a Sunday and say, hey, today we just feel like playing defense, they'll be able to stop that Eagles offense. And then from there, it just becomes a kind of defensive battle to a degree, or it's just that offense until the other side offense just starts getting going. And that's technically what happened here. It's just the defense stopped the Eagles, which apparently is not that difficult this year, which is wild to say because last year you were terrified to play them. And then just, the Cowboys offense will figure it out. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott playing at an MVP caliber level since game 1. I think it is their last dance. I think they're in trouble, but at the same time, this is where they live. This is where Nick Sirianni apparently lives at all times. And before you know it, they may be in the Super Bowl again, and who knows?
They better not, man. I'm not watching the Super Bowl. I'm watching Bad Bunny at halftime, and that's it. I'm turning it off. Now, I also think that this is their last dance. I think for better or for worse, there's no way this core can come back. There's just no way. Like, I mean, we seen it at its peak last year, and it was very good. It was very good. It was a lot less predictable because it was a lot of the first looks for everybody. I think they just copy paste what they did last year and trying to do it this year, and everyone already knows what you're trying to do. Like, you're not creative with the play calling at all. You have about 10 plays, and 2 of them are tush pushes, either to the left or to the right. So that's 8 right there. If I can guess your play, then it's over for you. There's no world where Saquon Barkley should have 22 rushing yards. Not only because Saquon Barkley is amazing, but also because the Cowboys are literally 22nd on rushing defense. They're 29th in defense in general. Like, there's no way that Barkley should only have 22 yards. Now, I guess they force-fed A.J. Brown after complaining. He complained for the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, and they finally, here, just take the damn ball. Just take it.
And they lost.
And they lost. And I think that they're okay with that internally so that they can show that to A.J. Brown and be like, look, when we force the ball to you, this is what happens. And there's just so much chaos going into this core 4 right here, where it was typically between the first 3 and then Barkley was just added on. And I think that's why he was able to succeed so much last year, because it wasn't like he was surrounded by the drama too much. He was still so focused on the Giants didn't want me. I'm here to make a name for myself and show that I'm still Saquon freaking Barkley and I can do what the hell I want. And he was just running over the league. He can't do that this year, where he's more engulfed into the whole internal drama that they have going on here, to the point where AJ Brown's even bringing him up into the interviews and stuff like, well, if I'm having a bad year, then Saquon's having a bad year too. Like, why is he catching strays? It makes no sense. There's no way that this core 4 can come back. I think you have to get rid of at least AJ Brown. It seems like the easiest thing to do, but at the same time, to your credit, Nick Sirianni seems like he gets off on this, like it gets him horny or something like that. Like I know AJ Brown wants to leave, but I need him here because I need the chaos. Because there's plenty of chances where they could have traded him. There's multiple teams out there that would love to have AJ Brown, but they choose not to. Why is that?
Yeah, it's just he's good. Honestly, he's a great player, and they're willing to live within. Now, if this team was 3-8, of course, like everybody, okay. Yeah, like he's gone. They're not going to put up with. They're 8-3, so of course they're going to, put up with it. They're just trying to get to the postseason and kind of to see what happens from there. So in that aspect, I understand why they haven't traded AJ Brown, but I know Eagles fans, they blame Sirianni, they blame their offensive coordinator. Their offensive line is honestly not the same as it was last year at all. the proof is in the pudding, right? It's Saquon Barkley hasn't had his best year. His rushing numbers are just like this game. They've been like that more than once throughout the year. It's been 12 touches, and he's only had 15 yards. Against the Rams, he only had like 33 yards or something like that. He's not getting the same hole, so everything is actually being put on Jalen Hurts to deliver, and this is where you kind of see the issues start to come through on is he a one-read quarterback? Is he a little happy feet? Like, we don't exactly know. Could it be scheme? I mean, could Eagles fans also be right on that? They watch their team 24/7, so who am I to argue? But from the outside looking in, I think it starts, with your quarterback. There's definitely issues there. There's play calling issues as well. And AJ Brown just needs to stop being a diva, man. You're winning. Just, I don't want to say shut up and play, but technically
shut up and dribble.
Yeah. But technically, just ball out, dude.
Yeah.
Just ball out in your limited touches and your limited looks, even though they go over your head. Just do your thing. You're winning. Now, if losing starts happening and occurring and all that stuff, then hey, I get it, 100%.
Yeah, that I hate the fact that there is a stigma when it comes to wide receivers being divas, but then you see someone like AJ Brown, and it's like, this is exactly why people say that. Like, they're divas to a whole nother level when they want to be, and it's ridiculous, man. I am on the boat where I think AJ Brown is still elite. I don't think, and I think Nick Sirianni and the Eagles organization think so as well. But if you're not trying to use him, and you want to use him as a break glass just in case type of player, I think you can get other players like that. Like, not as great as AJ Brown, but to the point where they can be serviceable when needed. So why not trade him and try to get maybe a pick back and then a lesser wide receiver? It doesn't have to be a whack wide receiver, but just
Devontae Smith is so good. He could be your wide receiver one. I know he does have some type of injury history to a certain extent. He is a smaller guy, and maybe yes, he is. Maybe he may blossom a little bit more under that wide receiver too, where the attention is not completely on him, but still, they have the assets, and their GM, is known to just kind of make moves.
Yeah, I mean, when they drafted Devontae Smith, he was there to be the number one. I mean, he was an incredible prospect coming out of college, and I think he won the Biletnikoff that year as well. But when they drafted him, I believe they drafted Jalen Hurts that same draft or the year right before. So it's like they were both still learning at the beginning years until AJ Brown finally came in, and then everything kind of became established. Yeah. But Devontae Smith is 5 years into his career now. Like, he's ready to take over the wide receiver one duties if that's what you need him to do. But and they've kind of been doing that throughout the season. But it's just, what's the point of keeping someone as great as AJ Brown is, but that it's just constantly bringing in negativity every single win or every week, win or loss. Like, it at some point that's just hindering, and you're trying to compete for a Super Bowl. Like, the hardest part about competing for a Super Bowl is being able to have everybody locked in for the entirety of the season and into the playoffs. That like, for everyone to buy into the system, for everyone to want to fight for their brothers and stuff like that. And then for you to have someone like that on the roster, I feel like that's just going to hinder it. But back to Nick Sirianni, he gets off on that stuff, man. He's a kinky little boy.
Yeah, he sure does. Sure does. But hey, a lot of us are praying for the Eagles' downfall. I may be one of them. I don't know. All my family members are Eagles fans. I just, I'm kind of getting a little tired of it, but it's all good. Their time will come.
You gonna see any of them this Thursday?
I am not, actually. I'm not gonna see any of them this Thursday because
let's go.
We're not family anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
After that Super Bowl win, I just cut everyone off.
Yeah, I just cut everybody off.
But so yeah, I mean, yeah, the Eagles 8-3, coming off a Super Bowl win, but is this the last dance? I think we both agree it has to be. It kind of has to be. Does that mean that they're still going to be good or not? only time will tell. But you have to break that core up. Like there's something wrong. There's a lot of fraudulent energy when it comes to the Eagles, and that's going to lead us into our next one, the Bears. The Bears are 8-3, and they're leading the NFC North right now, as you can see, 8-3 with Green Bay right on their heels, and then Detroit not very far behind, also on their heels. My question when it comes to the Bears specifically is, do you think that they're legit or are they fraudulent?
Hey, the Steelers just played them, so I think they're a great football team.
Hell of a team.
They're a hell of a team. They're a tough out, man. They're really a tough out. No, you can see the improvement, right? Yes, we didn't have Aaron Rodgers, and yes, we still managed to put up 27, 28 points on them. And that defense is actually pretty good. They're number one in the NFL in takeaways. At this point, is not just luck, it's an actual skill. And that gives more opportunity to Caleb Williams and the man we all talked about at the beginning of the season, Mr. Ben Johnson. This offense is actually very good. They're not great, and that's just simply because Caleb Williams is not a typical, when he came out of college, he relied a lot on his physicality tool, so he can outrun you, he can kind of just get the edge on you. He was running all over the place, and then he'll make a play, and that's kind of what made him the number one overall pick. In this offense, you have to be on time. You have to kind of be a Jared Goff, where you're just accurate as hell. You're just a robot, pretty much. Methodical. And the defense is a lot of play action. So you're not really you're studying the defense at first. Then you go into your play action. You have no idea what the hell's going on behind you. Then you turn around and then you have your second read, and you have to let it go like this. That is not Caleb Williams that we know of. Is he capable of it? Yes. I mean, he's obviously had a decent year, not a great year, but it's all coming together. You can see this offense all coming together. Right now in total offense, the Bears are number 6. That's a massive improvement compared to last year. Guys are just running open, and it's not even guys winning on one-on-one on the outside on the slot or anything like that. They're getting schemed open. It's literally the Ben Johnson offense coming to life. Now, do I think they're going to win the NFC North? I don't think so. I don't. This is kind of like last year, where they were all like really, really good, and then the Vikings, I think, lost like the last game of the year, and then it eventually being the Lions being the first, and then the other one went all the way down to the wild card, but they were like a 14-win team or something like that. It's
crazy.
I think a little bit of that's going to happen again this year, but I think it would probably be the Bears on that losing side.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat. I do think that the Bears are fraudulent. Now, to your point with Ben Johnson has really like improved the hell out of this team. Obviously, specifically on offense. Now, even before he got here, they had playmakers. Caleb Williams I wouldn't call him a great quarterback, but he's not a bad quarterback either. He's a good quarterback. Now, the type of things, like you said, the type of things that he's good at is not typically the things that Ben Johnson may want to implement. But regardless of that, I mean, the weapons that they have there, with Romo Dunze, with DJ Moore, with Luther Burden, who they just drafted in the first round. Then was it the first round? Or Loveland was the first round?
Loveland, and then
Luther Burden was second. Right. Yeah. So that's 2 more weapons that they just added this year onto the weapons they already had. And Cole Kmet was already a pretty good tight end. So to bring Loveland in on top of that, it's like he has a crazy amount of weapons to his disposal. And like you said, like he knows how to scheme them open, and it's easier to do it when you have more of them, because then it's kind of a pick your poison type of thing. As someone who's owned DJ Moore in fantasy this year, like it's very annoying to try to figure out when he's going to pop, because it could be Romo Dunze's turn. It could be Loveland's turn. It could be Swift killing them on the ground. And Swift isn't even a good running back, but back to Ben Johnson, they're the 2nd ranked offense on rushing right now. Like it blows my mind. And then when he misses time, then Kyle Monangai comes in and he's running over teams.
He ran over. Yeah, he killed the Steelers.
So to Ben Johnson's credit, he has definitely turned this team around. Now to the actual question of whether they're fraudulent, I think they are. If you look at the past games, they started off the year 0-2, right? They got killed by Detroit, and Minnesota. It was a close game. There was rookie JJ McCarthy. There was a lot of feeling out process going on in that game. Week 3, they beat Dallas by a pretty decent margin. Then they beat the Raiders by 1 point. Then they go into a bye week. Then they beat Washington by 1 point. They beat the Saints by 8, which is almost like 1 point because it's the Saints. Then they lose to Baltimore. They barely beat Cincinnati in that miracle type game where everybody was scoring within the last like 3 minutes of the game and so it was a crazy game. It was a crazy high. Then they beat the Giants by 4 points. The Giants are beat up at this point. They beat Minnesota by only 2 points, and then they beat you guys by 3 points. They're squeaking out these little wins. To your point, when it comes to the defensive side, this isn't a great defensive team. They're going to give you up yards, but eventually, when push comes to shove, eventually they're going to find a way to get the ball back. They get those turnovers, like you said, when it comes to interceptions and stuff like that. So they're going to let you get the yards, but at the end of the day, you still have to try to score it on them, and their defense is good at taking the ball away. This team, though, is not going to be able to continue this. It's a luck pattern that I'm seeing with them a lot, and I don't think that they're going to be able to continue it. Now, if you look at the rest of their schedule, they got Green Bay coming up twice. I think that's 2 divisional losses right there. They already are 1-2 when it comes to the division. They have Green Bay and Detroit on their heels. 2 better teams. I think Detroit is the better team out of all 4, but Green Bay has been playing pretty well. I don't see them making the playoffs at the end of the year, even being 8-3, which is insane. But I don't think that Detroit is going to lose this division. This is going to be their division to lose, and they had a pretty bad start, and they had turned it around since then, and I think that's just going to continue to keep going. They got Philadelphia, who obviously we're not fans of, but Philadelphia finds a way to win games, regardless of how we feel about how they do it. They find ways to win games. Cleveland, crazy good defense. The 49ers is another team that, regardless of how we feel about how they win the games, they find ways to win games. Like I can see them losing 4 or 5 of these last couple of 4 or 5 of the last 6, and that's going to push them out of contention, especially if 2 of those losses are coming to Green Bay. So that's 2 more wins for Green Bay on top of that, and then Detroit getting a win over them as well. So I think they're fraudulent.
Yeah, their upcoming schedule is definitely tough. All of them are technically playoff teams except the Browns, but we know the Browns defense ain't no joke. And the Browns, I mean, they played the Packers very well, and the NFC North, as a whole, the Browns have kind of played them well. They may lose that game to the Browns too, honestly.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Yeah. And it's not that I still think they would be favorited to win it, but they got too many lucky wins already. I just don't see it keep happening. Like there was a couple of years ago where Minnesota was kind of on the same trajectory, and that's the year that they lost to the Giants in the first wild card game. And that was because a lot of their games are kind of fugazi, where they just end up squeaking a win out at the end. That doesn't work.
Cousins, close games, comeback. I think they had like the biggest comeback
like 11.
of NFL history in one of those games. Like it was intense. Actually, Quarterback on Netflix, I think covers that part too. That was actually a great show.
I gotta watch that.
Shout out to Netflix. But they can sponsor us if they're watching. But anyways, the Bears might not make it. That they're fraud. I wouldn't go. I think they're actually a pretty good football team.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying this because they beat the Steelers. I just think that there's progression. there's progression, and you see a little bit of progression. You see a little bit of the old Caleb and then the new Caleb kind of coming through. So it just depends on what type of Caleb Williams you're going to get. But winning these close games actually does wonders for a young developing team like the Bears right now with their new head coach. So it just grows a little bit of confidence, but they have a tough out to finish this season.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get put to the test. And the NFC isn't, I don't think the NFC is super strong, but they have a lot of top heavy teams. And two of them are kind of in their division right there. I don't know, maybe calling Green Bay a heavy hitter, maybe. Would you consider them a heavy hitter when it comes to the NFC?
Oh man. The Packers are so, yeah, it's just, they win some games and they lose to like the Cowboys when they weren't great. They lose to the Panthers, which the Panthers are somewhat respectable, but still, you expected that defense to be so much better. Then we have the whole Jordan Love situation. I don't think they're heavy hitters, but in their own division, they know each other well. Defenses usually dictate, and Green Bay has the better defense.
I respect it. Now, one team that we do know is a heavy hitter in the NFC is the Rams. The freaking Rams, man. Again, I'm going to say it every week. We were high on the Rams since the beginning, and it was for good reason. This team is amazing. They go 9-2, beating up on the Bucks last week. So I want to know, do you consider the Rams the number one team in the NFL right now?
I do. And it's not even their offense. Their defense is actually very, very good. They're very young, very good. The way they're built is they have great linebackers, great defensive line, good secondary. And then all it takes is just Matthew Stafford, man. You have Devontae Adams breaking records at the 1 yard line. He has 14 career touchdowns or whatever the heck it is. And he's so good. Puka, it could be. I mean, you have JSN up in Seattle, which now you can throw it into one of the best wide receivers in the league. But Puka and all it takes is Matthew Stafford, as we talked about before in other shows and just throughout. If you want to break an NFL record as a wide receiver, just call Matthew Stafford to be your quarterback.
That's a fact. That's fact. Even with the back problems, he does not care. He'll pop what he needs to pop and then just get over the pain. Now, I agree where I think it's their defense that's their strength. I think that Devontae Adams on the 1 yard line is kind of like their tush push, where it's just kind of unstoppable.
Unstoppable. It really
you don't know where he's about to break, but he's just gonna, and he's open. Yep. That's it. Ball's already right there for him. And when we looked at the other people's like the Bears and stuff like that, you look at their schedule, you look at who they beat, who they didn't beat, what they beat them by. Now, if we do the same thing with the Rams, you could look at Houston and be like, that's a bad team, but that's one of the best defenses in the league. Top 3 possibly. So they put up 14 on them, won by 5 points. They beat Tennessee. That's an easy win. We're not going to count that. Now, when we go to Philly, though, if you could jog my memory, is that the one where it was a block punt at the end to win the game?
Yes. Yeah, that was all out of all the funkiness wins the Eagles had. That's kind of like the one that started it all.
Yeah.
That is the one that the Rams were actually dominating the most of the game, and then the Eagles decided to play ball, and then they had that block field goal return for touchdown and all that too. Yeah, to beat the Rams.
That's kind of where I'm going with this, where that should have been a win. Obviously, the record book is going to be what the record book was, but that was a dominating game for the Rams, and then that last couple of seconds where they get that block punt, whatever. So that is unfortunately a loss. They beat Indiana, which is one of the best teams in the NFL. They lost to San Francisco in an overtime thriller. That was a game that we all picked the 49ers to lose, except for Omar, who called it out. And that was a weird game for the Rams. That game, if I'm looking at them throughout the whole year, that was the one game where the Rams did not look like the Rams for whatever reason. And I'll give credit to the 49ers defense for that.
Yeah, it's just the whole Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay rivalry. They know each other very well. It's kind of like big bro, little bro, it's your turn, my turn type of thing. So that one, I can see the 49ers can possibly, have the Rams number, but if the Rams were actually going to, how like when you're serious, you grab your remote control and you sit forward. If the
No,
Rams do that, then it's game
they
over.
they did do that or later on in the season. They
Oh
beat
yeah,
them.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's
they beat
true.
them
That's true.
42-26.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They
That's
said, all right,
Yeah.
now I'm playing serious. And that was it. Once they lost to the 49ers in week 5, that's what they were like, we're not losing anymore. Like, screw this. They sat up, like you said, and control in their hand, sat up, and they just been dominating since. It doesn't matter who it is, and they have some pretty impressive wins. Baltimore was right there where I believe Lamar Jackson's first game back, or maybe that was his last game that he missed. But still, they beat Baltimore. They beat Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a very sneaky team. The Saints is the Saints. The 49ers, they came back and bust their ass. The freaking Seahawks is a team that we're going to have to talk about one of these weeks because they have been balling as well. You brought up JSN earlier. That team is very damn good on defense, and the offense is looking pretty well as well. So they barely win that one, but they still come away with the win, and then they beat down Tampa Bay. So
Yep. Yeah. So a little fun stat here from the Rams. As far as rushing defense, right?
Okay.
As far as yardage, they're kind of middle of the pack. They're ranked 13th. But you know how many touchdowns they've allowed throughout the year?
No,
just throw a wild guess.
I'm gonna guess like 6.
So the most is who is it here? Is the Giants and the Bills, which is wild. They've allowed 17 rushing touchdowns.
Sheesh.
The Rams have allowed 4.
Woo!
Yeah, they're actually really good. The next, the one right is the Browns at 5, and you can see how dominant that Browns defense is. If they were, if they had a Matthew Stafford, then they'll probably be in the same category.
Yeah, man, this defense is really good. If we're looking at their ranks here, they're ranked 9th in offense and defense, and I think that's one of the things that makes them the scariest team out of most of these teams is they're so well balanced. They're so well balanced to where if they have to go against a good defense, they can still put up points on that good defense while also holding that team to 12 points, 14 points, or whatever, and vice versa. So it's like it's a pick your poison with them. They have Puka and they have Devontae. They have Kyron Williams, who's a good running back. He hasn't been popping off the way he has in the past couple of years, but he hasn't had to. So they have that break class just in case of emergency type player when it comes to Kyron Williams. And that defense is not only really damn good, but they're still pretty young too. Like they're constantly adding to this defense with the past couple of years. Yep. And that's one of the things we talked about last week because the Rams, I have to actually double check to see where they at with the Falcons pick this week. But the last time we checked, they were number 4. So it's like they can continue to add on to this already young but good team. Okay, so they're 11th right now. So that pick is pick number 11, which is still amazing for a damn near Super Bowl team.
Yep, it sure is. Sure is. Again, the question mark is just how long Stafford can keep it up. But the way he's playing right now, and that arm has always been live and alive. It's just a matter of the rest of the body can keep up.
100%. 100%. But yeah, I mean, to answer the question, the Rams are my number 1 team in the NFL right now. And they might be my Super Bowl favorite, honestly. Like if I think about it hard enough, I mean, New England has the best record, but I don't think they're the best team. Denver is right there with the Rams at 9-2, but I think Bo Nix is spotty. He can have some really good games, but then he could also kind of disappear.
Yeah.
And then another team that we're going to move on to next is going to be the Colts were one of those teams. The Colts were one of those teams, and they were 8-2 going into this game against the Chiefs, who were 5-5, a team that we were talking about that we were nervous that they might miss the playoffs. We looked at the rest of their schedule. It was a tough schedule. This was the toughest game on that schedule.
Yeah, this was the loss.
Yes.
And from there, it was kind of like gettable games.
Right.
Now it's a little different.
So we spoke about how we think the Chiefs might miss the playoffs, especially with their upcoming schedule. And even though this was one of their hardest games and they came away with it, we kind of have to like revisit and remix it to where do we think that the kingdom's on the rise here?
They could be, man. They know how to stay alive. They know how to stay afloat. They know how to sneak into the playoffs. And this is a team, obviously, with Patrick Mahomes, you do not want to face in the playoffs. We've said it here multiple times. You know, as long as you have Patty Mahomes and Andy Reid and the shell of Travis Kelce, you're always going to have a shot. And the Colts may have an issue at the quarterback position. I don't know. I don't know, but Danny Dimes is looking like, Danny New York Giants type of player, but
Yeah.
I who knows? Who knows? They did get off to such a hot start that I think that we were like the Colts, the Colts, the Colts. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
the Colts. Now that they're starting to come back to earth and to the median, they're beatable, as you can see. I mean, and they had a chance to kill the beast. They had a chance to take out Mahomes, to take out and really put him in a tough situation, and they squeaked it out in overtime.
And it's insane because I mean, if you look at that picture there, you see their newly acquired weapon, Sauce Gardner, giving up a reception here, and also a little pass interference, little Sauce specialty. I agree where this was supposed to be like the only game on the schedule where it's like, yeah, they're going to lose this game. They could potentially win. We've always said Patrick Mahomes is the greatest weapon in the NFL. In the NFL, offense, defense, he's the greatest weapon. As long as you have him, you can't count the Chiefs out of any game, no matter who the opponent is. Now, are they always going to be favorited? No. But is their chance of win going to be zero ever? No. Like Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. And in this game, he had no touchdowns.
That's wild.
No touchdowns, and they still came away with the win on this one. Now, to the Colts side, I agree where Daniel Jones, there's a problem there at quarterback. We got to this point to where I feel like the rest of the NFL has caught up to Danny Dimes. They saw that he kind of revamped and kind of updated his software to where he looked like a different quarterback. But when you look into the coding of him, he's still the same guy. So if you're still giving him pressure, you can scheme him out the game. Jonathan Taylor is Jonathan Taylor, so he can eventually probably win you a game by himself. But if you can take the quarterback out of it, that's half the battle right there. Their defense is good, but they're not great. They've made a big swing at getting Sauce Gardner, giving up 2 firsts to get him, and they're still not great. Now, maybe that's something that's going to come through with time, but as somebody that has been glazing the Colts this season, I felt like they probably kind of had it figured out where they had all the pieces that they needed. They even added to it on top of that with Sauce. But the main piece was always going to be the quarterback. It was always going to be Danny Dimes. And we thought that this is a new Danny Dimes. This is the same Danny Dimes. He just has a upgraded cast around him, which is great. That's always going to elevate you as a quarterback. But who you are is still who you are. And now that teams know that this is still Daniel Jones, they're going to play him a certain way, and they're going to take him out the game. And if he's not able to play up to the pace that he was playing at in the first 6-7 weeks of the season, it's a completely different Colts team than we were looking at when they were like, 7-1 at one point.
For sure. I know the question started with the Chiefs, and we ended up talking about the Colts because the fall is real. Like, the concern is real. Steichen, they kind of figured out your offense. Now what? It's kind of like the whole Mike McDaniel stuff with the whole motions and all that stuff. Hey, they figured out your offense. Now what? Show me something different. Now we're going to see actually Steichen and Daniel Jones kind of start having a little bit of a tough go at it, and to see if they are legit. So we're going to see. I'm kind of curious to see how this plays out.
100%. And if they're going to, God forbid, they're going up against a team that has good running defense, they're almost probably going to lose every one of those matchups. And this was one of those matchups. The Chiefs are very good when it comes to running defense. And if you can scheme Daniel Jones up, then you pretty much got the W here. Now they still had to go to overtime to do it, but we spoke about the Chiefs last week to where they're not the same Chiefs as they were the past couple of years. They got Rice back. Kareem Hunt was their RB1 for this. They gave him the ball 30 times. They kind of just, it was like, let's play keep away from the Colts.
Yeah.
Finally
And establish the
right.
run.
But it's hard for them to establish the run when they have nobody to run the ball. Kareem Hunt is not going to be able to do this every week. It took him 30 attempts to get to 100 yards. Like, this is not this is not Kareem Hunt of 6 years ago. And then Pacheco's in and out with his inconsistency of injuries. The only person they really have that's consistent is going to be Rashee Rice. And that's it. So if you can kind of focus in on him, obviously they're going to give a couple of deep ball chances to Xavier Worthy every once in a while. Travis Kelce's going to get his couple of catches here and there to try to get Swift on the Jumbotron and stuff like that. Like, they really only have one weapon when it comes to this offense. And I still am worried when it comes to the Chiefs making the playoffs. But I think this was a extremely great step for them to
step in the right direction.
We're the damn Chiefs. We remember who the hell we are. And like you said, like, they could just wake up one day and be like, yo, let's just win 6 in a row.
Let's just win them all.
Let's just do it. Like, why not? And they all look at each other. Yeah, why don't we? And now we just seen it happen. So the kingdom may be on the rise for sure. My bad. I thought you were going to say something.
No, you're good. You're good. It's just it definitely is on the rise, but we'll see. We'll see. They, like I said, they have that massive matchup against the Chargers. Not next week against the Cowboys, but the following. We'll see. We'll see.
Now, I'm gonna just throw 3 things out there. Tell me what's the first thing that comes to your mind.
All right.
Food, beer, football.
Ooh, the first thing that comes to my mind, for whatever reason, is Buffalo Wild Wings. Another sponsorship opportunity, but that's
call up.
Yeah, call up. I may just be hungry, but dude, it's that time of year again where that's all you do all day.
That's a fact. Now, for me, if anyone asked me that question, that'd just be a normal Sunday. But specifically for most people, for everyone else, that's Thanksgiving here. We got 3 games lined up for Thanksgiving. I want us to go through each of these games and try to predict who we think are going to win. We'll go at the same time, and we'll start with game 1 here. We spoke about the AFC North. We got the Bengals going against the Ravens. This is going to be Joe Burrow's first game back. This is going to be a game that is interdivisional, where that division is, even though the Bengals and Browns are 3-8, they're technically not out of it. So it's like, this is super important here for the rest of the season. Who do you think wins this game?
I already said who I'm rooting for. I'm not going to repeat myself. You guys can rewind and see later whenever. But I think ultimately the Ravens do. I think this may actually turn out into a shootout. I think the Ravens actually take it, call it 37-33.
I'm gonna go the other way. I think the Bengals win this one, and I think it's literally just because of the kind of like when a head coach gets fired and then the new coach comes in, and no matter how bad the team is, they get that little spark, and now they beat the number 1 team on the other side or something like that. I think this is one of those games where they just get that spark of seeing Joe Burrow throw passes, warming up in the beginning of the game, and at the end of this game, they come out eating the turkey leg. If I had to put a score on it, I'm gonna go 30-21. Because I mean, Ravens gonna put up some points.
Yeah, they will. Yeah.
That game could go either way though. But that's a great way to start off Thursday, right there. Waiting for the beni to get cooked, waiting for the stuffing. You just smelling the turkey. You picking at some of the stuff that's already ready. Some of the people already brought over some food that's pre-made. You just picking at that.
Picking all day. That's all you do. You're just eating, drinking, going to the bathroom, rinse and repeat.
That's it. Unless you got a kid, because then you got to run around and follow them all day. Unfortunately. But now we're going to go into this second game where we got the Chiefs going against the Cowboys. Now, this is 2 teams coming off of big wins. Both of them are amped. Both of them are feeling themselves a little bit. And both of them are still in a place to where they're not They're not playoff teams. They came into the year with playoff aspirations, but they're both fighting for their lives right now. Who do you think wins this game and why?
I do want to say the Chiefs, but the Cowboys at home are actually very good. The offense is very good.
Yeah.
That defense, it's shown a little bit of improvement. It all comes down if the Chiefs can actually run the ball to a certain extent. Because we know they can put up points as well, but I just don't think the Chiefs, which is weird to say, don't have enough firepower to stick with the Cowboys. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think the Cowboys win. And I think they also put up about 32, 33 points, call it to Kansas City's 27.
Yeah, my heart is with Kansas City on this one, but my head is telling me the Cowboys are going to come away with the win here. That offense is high powered, like you said. They're at home. On top of that, I like the Kansas City defense. I do like their defense, but their defense is nothing compared to the Cowboys' offense. Like there's so many choose your poison type of players there. CeeDee Lamb for some reason has been dropping. I think he's tied for number 1 in drops as wide receivers.
That's crazy.
That's the weirdest stat I've seen all season. And that started since week 1. I remember that the diving catch.
Yeah,
he had like what three drops that one game, right?
3 drops that one game, and one was like crucial. I think it was like a walk-in touchdown or to put him in position to beat the Eagles.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think he's looking to bounce back. And then even if he's having another off game, George Pickens has just freaking ascended. Ever since they chilled in Vegas and did what they did, Pickens kind of he I don't know. He gave him the Monstar powers or something.
I just know George Pickens, man. He's going to get paid. And I know the Cowboys want to pay him like if he was wide receiver 2 there, and they're trying to sell him on it. No, man, go get your bread. Good luck to you. I kind of wish you were still on the Steelers, but we decided to stick with AJ Brown, not AJ Brown, with DK Metcalf.
AJ Brown might be available.
That's true.
Give it a couple more months.
Yeah, it's all good. I think George Pickens actually runs wild once again against the Kansas City Chiefs, and just adds to that hurtful resume that the Steelers could have had.
So that brings up a good topic. Jerry Jones hates paying their players, and then when he does pay them, he just drags it out until the very last second. Do you see this happening again? Is this a rinse and repeat type of thing? Yeah, like it's set in stone. He's dragging it out.
Set in stone. You can already see Jerry Jones already reaching out to his key organizational players, kind of like Des Bryant. Des Bryant already went on Twitter and said, "Hey, man, it's not about you. It's about the team. It's all the BS that was pretty much fed to him, that Jerry Jones fed to him. And hey, you can take a pay cut. You can win here. You can do this. You can do that." Oh man, it's Jerry Jones, and I don't. He's a smart businessman. He's just terrible for football.
And that's the problem. He puts business over football, and he thinks that football is the business, which technically it is. But the goal of football is to win it all, and that's never his goal for whatever reason. And which is stupid, because if you win Super Bowls, you're going to make more money. Like that brings fans in, that gives you a right to raise ticket prices. Like there's so much money that you can make off of winning. He would know that because they had a dynasty at one point decades ago, but that dynasty helped them build what they currently have now with the whole new Jerry world, with the all new sponsorships and stuff like that. I think he's just living off of that success that happened in, what was it, the 80s or something. And it's just, he does not care about winning anymore. It's just, we're a soap opera. Oh, it's your turn to get paid. Okay, so you're the main character for this offseason, and we're going to go back and forth. I'm not giving you the script. Just figure it out as we go, and eventually I'll throw some money your way.
Yeah, he likes it when the Cowboys are just in the news cycle consistently. Doesn't matter if it's bad news or good news. He just likes everybody talking about the Cowboys.
And if you're not talking about the Cowboys, he's going to find a way to make you talk about the Cowboys. That's
Mhm.
for sure.
Mhm.
So now let's go into this next and last matchup. This is at this point we're all fighting the itis. We're all a little tipsy. We're all a little rowdy. But then we got the Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. Who do you have winning this game and why?
This is a revenge game. This is the Lions finally saying, "Hey, we know you guys beat our ass on the first game of the season. We look terrible, but we're still the Detroit Lions." I'm kind of hoping that they put 45 on the Packers just so they can establish their dominance.
Yeah,
I for whatever reason I've come to really like the Detroit Lions, with Goff and his story, and the
yeah,
redemption and all that stuff, and then St. Brown is freaking awesome, and then you
yeah.
have Gibbs and Montgomery, like, and Campbell's and his onions. Yeah, for whatever reason, I've really liked the Detroit Lions. So I kind of
Yeah.
I kind of hope that, yeah, I hope they put at least 40 to 45 on the Green Bay Packers.
The Lions are easy to root for. Like it's easy to see why anyone would like the Lions. I've also come to like the Lions in the past couple of years. I think Dan Campbell was the start of it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's the underdog story. That they were the only team I believe that went winless. They had such a history of losing,
Terrible.
and for them you got to see that build as they got better little bit by little, and now they've become one of the top teams in the NFL, especially in the NFC. And the cast of players, like you said, the St. Brown, Jared Goff, who was shipped off after making the playoffs with the Rams, is like, hey, we're not going to be able to get it done with you. Then he goes to the Lions, and he damn near is on the doorstep almost every year. It's easy to root for, but I do want to start off with my condolences to anyone that had to play Jahmyr Gibbs in fantasy football. That was insane. Thankfully, I avoided him in every single matchup. I didn't have to go against him, but he put up at least 55 to 60, depending on your scoring lineups. And that's something that make you want to break your phone when you're checking the scores.
You know what's wild is I'm pretty sure there's a person out there in the universe that drafted Gibbs and Jonathan Taylor, and they are loving life at the moment. That
Damn.
just thinking of that alone, yeah, that makes me a little sad because my fantasy team this year sucks.
I have a couple. I don't have any that suck, but they're all like kind of in the middle, and then I have one team that's just fucking amazing. And I just focus on that one. That keeps me sane throughout the week. I just let's just keep looking at that score. So when it comes to Green Bay though versus Detroit, I think that I'm on the same boat with you where I think Detroit is going to. Did you say that you want them to kill Green Bay, or you think like it's going to be?
No, I want them, but I don't know if they will. But
It's going to be close.
I want them. Yeah, I think it eventually. Yeah, I think it is going to be close.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be close. I think this is one of those games where it's over 10 points. It's a double-digit win. How high do they go? I'm not exactly sure, but I think that they do get to around 35 at least. Because again, like you said, like they want to establish that dominance. This is a divisional rival. We can't just let you get away with that win. Like we have to make a statement. And Dan Campbell is one of those guys that he wants to make that statement too. That's something that he's preaching to his guys. That's something that's on the bulletin board. Like,
remember when they played the Bears? Ben Johnson left to a division rival, and what they do, they put a 50 burger on him.
Belt to ass. And I think they're going to try to do the same thing now. The Packers have a better defense, so it'd be a little harder to get to 50.
Yeah.
But I think the Lions are going to try. Like they're not going to take their foot off the gas at all.
No, their offense is so fun. I mean, you just never know where it's going to come from, but most of the time it's usually the same two cats, and it's just they're always open or they're running wild. It's just you never know.
Never know. So that's going to do it for us when it comes to the NFL side. I do want to jump into the NBA side though. I think that the NFL is a little easier to cover and update because it's like by the time we get to Tuesday, all the games are already done. We could kind of review it. When it comes to the NBA, it's a lot harder because there's always games on damn near every day. Let me get over here. I think there's some games going on right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I was
Oh,
just about to
actually,
look it up.
no. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Oh my God, the Hawks are getting destroyed by the Wizards here.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming, and you guys are handling business right now against the 76ers.
Finally.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be. That's a 16-point lead. It's only the second quarter, so a lot of ball to go
Mhm.
to still happen. Anthony Black with 25. Oh my God.
What am I missing?
Anthony Black.
And
All
on
right.
NBC.
Yeah, on NBC. So you got the graphics. So
Yep.
all right. So let's get through it. When you look at this standings here, East or West, what's the team that stands out to you the most?
I think we may have spoken about them before. I think we did a little bit. The Raptors, man, they're
Yes.
continuing to do what I thought was a little bit of a fluke. But no, they're actually very good. They're defensively sound. They move the ball very well. You have a closer and Brandon Ingram, or heck, even RJ Barrett. Doesn't matter. You have a guy that does it all. They don't have a true point guard. But IQ can definitely mix it up with. They're just playing some really good basketball. Something about these Canadian teams lately, I think that are starting to surprise us. I don't think they'll go as far as the Blue Jays, but I think the Raptors are legit. Honestly, I think they can probably keep this up for the rest of the year. Maybe not finish in the top 3. I hope not, because that means Orlando actually started taking care of business. But yeah, they may be top 4. Who knows?
I mean, if we look at these standings here, these rankings, they're 6 in points per game. That's not something that not only 6 in points per game, but 7th in opposing points per game. Like,
yep.
We spoke about this team. We did not understand the make of this team, but somehow they're making it work on both sides of the court. It does not make sense in my mind. And then they're second in assists. To me, they have no playmakers. They don't have one.
That ball moves,
but they move the ball well. And like you said, like you got people that can score on every position. Literally from point guard to center, you have players that can score. Obviously, they have their areas, but then you have someone like a Brandon Ingram that can kind of score in every level. Same thing with RJ Barry; he can score in every level. Barnes' 3-point is spotty, but everything else he can do. And then they also can all rebound. They can all assist. Find the open man. They're not playmakers. They're not running offenses like Chris Paul or anything like that. But they know how to find the open man, and it seems like they're playing very damn well together. I did not expect them to gel so quickly too. That's another thing where.
So go back to where scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So if you look at their wins and losses, by the looks of it, it's what kind of beats them. It looks like it's rebounding. So you notice the difference between 45 in their wins, 32. So it looks like maybe second chance opportunities. If you keep them off the board, I guess that's how you beat them, which makes sense because they're pretty big. I mean, Ingram's tall, Barnes is tall, Grady Dick is tall, Podol's a beast down there. RJ Barrett can obviously rebound in his position. But everything else kind of across the board in wins and losses stays the same. Their 3-point percentage, it's actually better in their losses. Their free throws are about the same. Their field goal percentage is about the same. So it looks like if it's rebounding with them. Like once you play the Raptors, you have to rebound the ball, which is good to know because even the turnovers are the same. I mean, they have 14 in their wins, 1 more than in their losses. So it looks like it's just about second chance opportunities with the Raptors.
Which
just
is
a quick observation right now.
No, that's a great observation because also with that would be typically the other team is getting more rebounds, but that's because in losses typically we're missing a lot more. But if you look at the field goal percentage, it's right there by 2%. Like it's basically the same exact thing. So the fact that they're just losing on the boards is the fact that they're just losing on the boards for whatever is going on in those 5 games. I would have to look at their schedule to see where those losses are coming from. Maybe those are just bigger teams, but but like you said, the Raptors themselves are a pretty big team. They don't have a bunch of 7-footers, but they have everyone that's like 6, 7 and up. And like you said, Grady, I don't know if you know, but the dick grew 2 inches this offseason. So I'm throwing some stats out there. The dick did grow about 2 inches. I saw that report come out. I kept it to myself. I was like, I'll be able to bring this up at some point, and there it was right there. But that's crazy. That's a difference of 13 rebounds on wins and losses, but everything else is just basically the same, if not better.
Exactly the same. I mean, they're getting to the line the same. Their free throw percentage is the same. That's wild. That's actually a good coaching nugget. If we were in the league, got to rebound.
We are in the league. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Not the NBA, but we're in the league somewhere. Somewhere we're in fantasy leagues. God damn it. No, but yeah, that the Raptors is a good shout. Did you know the rebound thing before I brought this up?
No. I just literally saw it. I'm looking. I'm like, oh, I wonder in their losses, like what? And literally just the rebound. So, no, I just literally just saw that and let it fly.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. The team I want to talk about, I feel like I always go towards the bottom, but the Mavericks, man.
Yeah.
The damn Mavericks. R.I.P. my boy Nico Harrison. I'm thinking of you. Hopefully you're somewhere. You're in my prayers and thoughts at all time. I don't care where you are in the world, but you're in my heart, and I want you to know that.
We know where he is. He's in LA. He's just
he's in our penthouse somewhere. We're keeping him nice and safe. Damn, I wanted to get some of these player stats. Okay, there we go. We're in team stats, and then I could change it. But when we look at this team here, now you can look at this win-loss breakdown, and you can see the complete difference than when we were talking about the Raptors here, where they kind of have to play not a perfect game, but they have to play at a very high level just to even have a chance at some of these wins. And this team is just built off of 3 players, and 2 of them are hurt right now. It was a bad build from the beginning because you knew not so much Kyrie, but AD was going to have some health issues at some point. And when he does have health issues, that it lingers. If not lingers, it takes him out completely. So for you to not be prepared for that is some very bad business on the Maverick side. They had some role players that I did like. Like I like Derek Lively. I like Gafford he's a nice piece too. But they don't have that one piece, that one player that's going to help run the offense, who's going to help elevate them. That should have been Kyrie, but Kyrie's not there. And then Cooper Flag, in my opinion, has not been playing up to the standards that he has been so just like given. Like they kind of just handed him the keys like he was going to run the NBA as soon as he stepped on the court. And that hasn't been the case so far. I'm trying to pull up his numbers real quick.
Yeah, right to his credit, I mean he's tried. He's averaging 16 points a game, call it. But he's young, man. That's way too much to put on a young player like that. Somebody that's going to be the face of your franchise. Like he's not Luka, right? He was polished, but Luka offensively had played so much basketball and can literally run an offense. Now you're trying to do this through Cooper Flag because anybody else right now, I mean, you're not going to run the offense through Caleb Martin, Daniel Gafford, Lively. These are all like energy. Yeah. I wasn't even going to mention him.
I had to.
These are all energy guys except D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell's just there for the vibes, apparently. Dwight Powell, these are all energy guys. And then Klay Thompson, we know he's not a creator. You have to create for him. And he's not knocking down the shots like he used to. PJ Washington, maybe you can run through him, but not as much. So I feel like a lot was put on Cooper Flag, which is a recipe for just a bad basketball team. We know a rookie trying to run a team from the very, very first day is just not going to be the smartest thing to do.
So I want to give a little pushback to that because typically we have to give rookies the benefit of the doubt because you're learning a new team, you're learning new teammates, you're learning a new league, and even just the schedule of the NBA, the travel schedule, the media schedule. This is something that they're not really prepared for when they come into the league. But when it comes to basketball, I feel like basketball is the only sport when it comes to the big three, like baseball, basketball, football, that one player can kind of just change everything and control everything if that player is good enough. Cooper Flag was supposed to be one of those type of players. He was supposed to be somebody that was coming in, even though he was young, he was supposed to be the most polished. He was supposed to be the one that has been playing at such a high level against great competition since he was in college and high school, that where he comes into the NBA and it's kind of just comes to him a little easy. Now, is he supposed to be putting up like 25, 10, and 6? No, of course not. But when you come to this team and then Anthony Davis is down, Kyrie Irving is out, you are now the guy, because when they're healthy, you're going to kind of be able to play off them. These are the veterans. These are the future Hall of Famers. And I'm learning. But now, since it's just you have nobody to kind of hold you back. You have the ultimate green light, and he's not really doing what I would expect him to do with that green light.
No, and that's exactly what I was trying to get to. It's just that this team was not built for Cooper Flag. This team was built for Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, and then you add a Cooper Flag, a 3-and-D wing to where he can grow, and then all of a sudden, yes, maybe in a year or two, he can take over the offensive responsibilities from either guy. But Kyrie's hurt. Anthony Davis, like you said, at some point, Cooper Flag in his short career already has more games played in a Mavericks uniform as Anthony Davis, and then some. I didn't understand the reasoning with Nico when he did this, but at the same time, nothing he did had any reasoning behind it. It was just
it had reasoning, just not for the Mavericks.
Oh man, yeah, no, I feel bad for Mavericks fans. I really do.
No, overall. Yeah, seriously. I mean, they got the great offense on the Cowboys. They could just watch that or something like that. But I think Cooper Flag, even if it doesn't equate to wins, should be playing a lot better than he's playing right now. And I'm not going to put it all on him, because part of that is also coaching. I think Jason Kidd is not that great of a coach. I think he's an amazing player. One of my favorite players to watch when growing up. One of my favorite point guards of all time. But when it comes to coaching, that doesn't always equate. And I think that he's not as good of a coach. He's someone that I did think, though, would be great to Cooper's development. It's just not translating for some reason for me. It's really not. And that kind of scares me, because I think also Jason Kidd is going to be on the way out. So if there was already rumors of him trying to leave this year to go to the Knicks or something like that. If he leaves next year because this team is a complete mess, now you got to bring in a new coach for Cooper Flag to learn a new system. There's going to be so many moving parts around him. I think his development is going to be hurt playing for this Mavericks team.
Honestly,
that sucks.
There's a dark cloud in Dallas. Honestly, when it comes to after, and again, I know keep bringing it up, after that Luka trade, there's just a dark cloud. You're gonna have to tear this entire team, outside of literally Cooper Flag and Derek Lively. Sure. I mean, who else would you? Max Christie maybe, but other than that, I think all of them can go. They're gonna have to restructure this entire roster.
PJ Washington, I think, is a decent piece, but then I'm not exactly sure, but I feel like he's getting paid very well right now. He just got a deal recently, right?
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
Yeah, so
either
he
right
might
after
have to
the
go
finals
too.
or right before the finals run. I can't remember.
So it's and then, you know what? Let me double check, because I want to know if they are in the second apron. Do you know that? Do you happen to know that?
I don't think they are.
Okay, I'll pull it up right now. But as I'm pulling it up, because that's going to be another thing that is going to play a big factor into it, because it's not as easy as just trading everybody away, especially when you're in that second apron, because of all the different type of restrictions that puts on you when it comes to trades specifically. Dallas Mavericks. Where the hell are you? Southwest. I never forget. Like when it comes to the NFL, it's easier to remember the divisions.
The
For some
divisions.
reason, yeah, the NBA always throws
Because
me off when it
the
comes to
NBA doesn't
divisions.
really pay no attention. Like if you win your division, that doesn't guarantee you a playoff spot. So like nobody really cares. Like they care, but they don't really care. Like the Heat have little banners, the Magic have banners of like winning the division, but it's all in like in their practice facility where really nobody else sees it other than themselves. It's not a big NBA thing.
So they're in the first apron. They're less than $1.5 million under the second apron. So they're right there. If they keep a lot of these players going into next year, then they're over the apron because they still have Anthony Davis on the books, going up an extra $4 million. They got Kyrie Irving on the books going up an extra $3 million. Klay Thompson going up only a little bit, but still he's going to be on the books most likely. Daniel Gafford's contract goes up. PJ Washington is getting 14 mil right now. Next year jumps up to 19 mil, damn near 220. And then Cooper Flag's on that number 1 overall pick contract, so he's getting paid 14 million. It's so they're at the first apron, so they can make some trades to where they're not that hindered. It's just whether they find the right partners and what is that return that they get.
I think they're just going to do like the whole Boston route where they were just selling players on the offseason just to get
Boston
under.
Did it smart though.
Of course, they unloaded certain players that they knew they would be fine without. Plus, I know they didn't want it this way, but then without Tatum, kind of like helped that whole situation to where they can just take a year off and then refocus next year.
So before we go into the next question, because that just reminded me of something. I keep hearing about Tatum possibly trying to be back after the All-Star break. And I'm seeing videos of him cutting on that leg. He's putting step backs, like he's active on that leg. Do you think that's something that's realistic? Like he could come back?
I don't think he should, man. I don't think he
I
should.
don't think he should either. Yeah.
If he does, maybe off the bench, very limited minutes, but I don't think he should. He is the Boston Celtics along with JB, but it's different when you're cutting by yourself, and it's different when you're cutting and you're getting bumped, and then you're landing on feet, you're landing on legs. NBA physicality as a whole puts a strain on your lower body, upper body. So,
but just the fact that
it'll be a while.
Because I agree, like it's a different type of cutting when you're actually in game. But the fact that he's even able to do that, like I think it was 5 months ago or 6 months ago, like it was not long at all, to where it's even a possibility. Now, if it's something like, do I think he should play? The answer is absolutely no. But do I think he would be healthy enough to play? Scarily, I think so. And if that's the case, I mean, we spoke about Joe Burrow wanting to be he wants to be on the field with his guys. He wants to, I get paid to play, and I love playing. This is the sport that I fell in love with since a kid. I can see that happening with Jason Tatum, and it scares me because I don't want to say they have nothing to play for, because that's not true. Like the East, yeah.
They will. That's literally what I was just looking at. They're in the mix. They're 9-8 right now.
Yeah, they're right there.
Like you're going to expect maybe, hopefully, a slide from the 76ers, from maybe the Heat, the Bulls. So, they'll at least be in that 7, 8, 9, 10. They'll still be in the mix to where, yeah, if you do add a Tatum and you do make the actual playoffs, I mean, they could be a dangerous team. But is Tatum going to be the same player? I know he can shoot the lights out of the ball. All he has to do is just stand in a corner. But yeah, it's going to take a while for him to actually be Jason Tatum again.
What works to their advantage too is the fact that the bottom 4 teams on the East are absolute dog shit. So they literally have to be better than just one decent team, whether that be the Bucks right now, the Bulls, the 76ers, the Hawks, the Heat, I assume are going to drop eventually as the season goes on. But
I hope so.
They just have to be better than one of those top 10, 11 teams, and they're in the play-in. And if that's the case, I could see Jason Tatum wanting to play. Now,
Yeah.
should he? Absolutely not. Like, why? Why? So that you can eventually try to go against Detroit in the first round
Mm-hmm.
after you possibly win in the play-in. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's that's. I just need to bring that up because that's insane. The fact that he's doing what the hell he's
Him,
doing.
Lillard, and Halliburton. From what I've seen videos, I think all of them have at least cut or dunked.
That's
But Tatum,
insane, bro.
obviously, it's just modern medicine, man. That
Yeah,
like tearing your Achilles used to be, and your ACL, that was like it for your career. Now it's just it's wild what they're able to do. I mean, Aaron Rodgers too. I mean, he popped
yeah,
this thing at what was it, 38
40.
or 40?
No, he was 40. Yeah,
Yeah, it was 40 already, and still balling. I mean, shoot. Um, but anyways, I'm excited for this next
yeah. Let's get
subject.
into it. Like, let's where they at? Hold on. These guys right here. These guys right here. Let's let that load. And while that's loading up, the Magic have won 6 of their last 8. Actually, when I wrote this, I think they were still in the middle of a game. So I think they possibly just lost. Is this still 6 out of their last 8? Regardless, they have been playing a lot better in these
Yes.
past 8 games,
Yeah.
wins or losses, playing a lot better. As you can see, they're still blowing out Philly by 26 at halftime right now,
At halftime.
which is
Beautiful.
amazing. My question is, because I picked the Magic to make it to the finals this year. Should I be happy? Are the Magic back? Can I get excited again?
Of course you
Let's
can get
go.
excited. Of course you can get happy.
Let's
As
go.
of I think we were literally on a pod when they played New York.
Yes, the first one, right?
And
The first New York game,
correct.
Yeah,
And I said, like, this is probably one of the games where it's like make it or break it, man. Like, we're either this is going to derail our season just from a confidence standpoint, or we're going to start building.
Mhm.
And yeah, thank you, New York. And then like I was speaking with Ryan, right? And then of course, we get a little competitive and all that. And he's like, man,
Of course.
like some of your players are ass, this is that. I'm not gonna,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna put words in Ryan's mouth, but pretty much he was a little upset. But but I told him, I'm like, dude, you were the team that the Magic were literally being put up against, them in Cleveland, right?
Yep.
So for the Magic to come in, and yes, it's the regular season. Like, yes, we're celebrating regular season wins, and simply because of how we started and to where we are now. And then we're playing the team that we're literally put against, that they said we had no chance in either progressing forward from. And I'm not saying you specifically, but I'm saying like just outlets all throughout, and then New York media and all that, to where we had no business going into Madison Square Garden or even here at home, regardless of the fan base being mostly New York, even here in Orlando, because a lot of the season ticket holders, right? I see them wearing their Magic gear, but anytime, and some of them are actually Celtics fans and they're New York fans, they just live down here. So, but they love basketball. So I respect it, that at the same time, like, nah, bro, like, sell your ticket, stay home on this one. But that was like the whole catalyst. And ever since from there, that defense started playing how. Now, Paulo did get hurt, and everybody again starts saying we start playing better with Paulo. Franz is our best player. Listen, Franz is literally my favorite player, and I am going to tell you, Paulo is the guy. With Franz, during the regular season, yes, we can win games. But come playoff time, ask Cleveland and ask the Boston Celtics who they feared going into that series and who showed up. Yes, Franz against Cleveland did not have a great one, but who shut up? Paulo. Against the Celtics in those 4 games, they were getting killed by Paulo. Paulo is the guy. You need that type of player. Regular season, whatever. It's we're going to have some games. We're not going to have some games. You need a Paulo Banchero on your team. You need a Franz Wagner on your team. You need a top dog on your team. So now that we're actually winning, I feel like what this did, it kind of gave confidence a little bit more to Desmond Bain. Franz, we know who he is. Wendell, surprisingly, this year has been absolutely very like he's been so good, so good. So Knicks players call him, or not Knicks players, Knicks fans call him dirty. I just think he just does a good good screen. But and for New York Knicks fans, you guys were tough and all that, and I didn't think a screen was gonna upset you guys, but
stop
apparently it
crying.
is. Yeah, so it is what it is. Just take your L, keep on moving. See you next time. Ryan was dying to kill us. He kept texting me. He's like, "I am dying to blow you guys out."
And
like, well,
you guys are sweeping them currently 2-0.
yeah, we're 2-0, and both were a can of whoop ass, and both we were actually not entirely healthy. But what this done is Bane has actually gotten into the flow of things, and now he's playing like Desmond Bane. Now he's actually the guy that we all envision, and he is perfect for this team. Jalen Suggs still the heart and soul of this team. Anthony Black, I mean, hell, I don't even know how many points he has right now. I have no idea what's going on. I just have the score on my phone.
So on the season, he's at 11.8. And then for the game currently, he is at 27.
27. Wild.
Insane.
While defending Maxey, I'm pretty sure Suggs also has to do a lot with that as
71% field goal percentage.
4 3-pointers. Yeah, this is Anthony Black has also taken a massive leap. Tristan Da Silva is the perfect complement player.
Yep.
Jet Howard just had a 30-point game against the Celtics. Jace Richardson just had 18 against the Celtics. Yes, like it was kind of like a scheduled loss because we just played the Knicks, and then for whatever reason the NBA decides to ship us off to Boston, I don't know, back-to-back. So that was kind of a little tough. But and then we were getting our ass kicked, and all of a sudden our young guys started playing. So that was kind of like a blessing in disguise. We weren't too mad about that loss. And then to come out like this on a cup night as well. Yeah, man, I think we're back. I think we're back to what we were the last 2 years, and I'm happy. Do I want to see a finals run? Of course. Am I going to say that this is a finals run team? I'm going to reserve that. Let's play the games. Let's play the games.
Oh, no, yeah. I again, Paolo is the greatest player on this team. He is the number one. That should always go without question. Now, him missing these games is amazing for you guys because then you get to let some of these players like Anthony Black show what he can do. Someone like Tristan Da Silva to show what he can do. Even like you said, Jet Howard popped out for a game. Jace Richardson popped out for a game. You need these players to be able to get the minutes to just try to get some confidence because they're still very young. And then two, also so that the coach, also so that the coach can kind of get a better understanding of the rotations that he's going to run when Paolo does eventually come back. Because I think that was a big part of why you guys were losing in the beginning. It was trying to figure out these rotations. Also, obviously, defense. We spoke about the defense a lot, where the defense was just completely off. But part of that is also rotation. A lot of that is being able to play with each other and being able to know, okay, this guy is always going to help on my weak side. I know this guy's always looking for the cutter and stuff like that. And then just being able to have the communication throughout the game. So without having Paolo there, you guys are a lesser team, but the team camaraderie is kind of just building throughout this time, which is amazing. Now, when Paolo comes back, I don't see that just going away. I think that they find a way to kind of integrate him back into where he is, which is his number one spot. Franz at that number 2 spot. Obviously, you can play it by matchup. If Franz has the better matchup or he has the hotter hand that game, that's fine. Let Franz be the number 1 for the game. But when it comes to just like team building, we know who's the number 1. We know who's the franchise guy here. And I think that this has been great for you guys ultimately to see what it is that you have in everybody else. I do see Tyus Jones still playing for some reason. That needs to stop. Jace Richardson, coach's decision. Maybe the coach needs to realize that Tyus Jones is complete garbage.
Yeah, having a good game so far.
Yeah, I was
but
about to say he has 8 points
that's
now.
the standards. But that's the thing.
Look.
Like that's the standard that we're holding him to. Like where he
Look at this.
scores more than 2 points, and we're like, oh man, this was a great
This
Tyus
guy's
game.
good. This guy's good.
Hand him the keys.
He gave us 5 points and 4 assists. Point guard of the year. No, like he needs to go. I don't think that you guys can find a trade partner for him. But I'm cool with just letting him sit on the bench until someone gets hurt and you need to play him. But I don't think there's a role for him. There was a role envisioned for him when he was gained, where it's like, okay, he can run an offense. He's a good passing point guard and he can knock down threes. And he hasn't been able to show any of it. And now what he did show that you knew when he was coming in was he wasn't good on defense. He made sure to bring that with him.
Yeah, he sure did. He's consistent on that end, at least.
Right. That's the that's the only thing he's been consistent in. But it's I don't understand. Now, if with him or without him, I think you guys are still in a very good position. I think you guys will be even better, take that next step up when you take him out, because even though you're giving him lesser minutes, like, let me see what his plus minus is right now. His plus minus is 8, and that's only because it's a blowout. That's still technically the second lowest out of everybody.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Tristan De Silva is even.
There was a game, I want to say earlier in the year, we won by a good margin. It may have been against the Wizards or something. We won by like 20 or whatever. Everybody was a plus, and him for what it was like a minus 11, and in like a blowout. It was wild. It was wild. But yeah, he just hasn't. What is that? Overall advanced by year, he's at a -3.
3.3.
But career low and 3-point percentage. Look at that, dude. Like,
yeah,
he went
19%, bro.
3-point shooter to a 19% 3-point shooter. It must be the water. It's probably the Florida water.
Yo, he's drinking whatever KCP was drinking.
And that's which, by the way, KCP is coming off the bench now. So again, thank you, Memphis. You guys traded the wrong person. So thank you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, it's just, Jace proved that he needs more minutes. He does everything just better, and let Tyus just be that veteran point guard. That's fine, but like I just need Jamal to maybe just adjust that little rotation.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just giving him time. Let the rookie kind of acclimate. Let him sit, observe, and that's fine. But man, the time is now, man. We gotta take advantage of it,
especially early in the season. Like, let him try to get it out now, because then even if it doesn't work, at least you figure it out, right?
Correct.
Oh, did I miss this one? Oh, this one just came in a couple of minutes ago. I have Herbert, Burrow, and Brissett. I'd like to keep them for my matchups and play keep away. I'd like to keep Jay Reed, but also have to drop Troy, Franklin, and Monty for 3 quarterbacks and Reed. So this is a fantasy question here.
A fantasy question.
So he got 3 quarterbacks. He'd like to keep Reed is coming back this week, right?
He is coming back this week.
He's coming back this week. So he'd have to drop either Franklin or Monty. I'm going to drop Troy Franklin. I think another part of this is also depending on what your depth looks like for running back and what it looks like for wide receiver. Just based off of those 2 names, I would drop Franklin just because even though Monty hasn't been having a really good year, he's 1 injury away from becoming a running back 1. Like, if anything happens to Gibb, Monty is taken off completely. For Troy Franklin, even if something happens to Sutton, like, he can still have a lot of inconsistency. What do you think?
And Sutton is still the guy, regardless. I know Franklin does tend to pop off, just because of within that offense. But I would just drop Franklin, honestly, and keep Monty and just run with the 3 QBs. Yeah,
I mean, because I would say you could kind of get rid of Brissett, but at the same time, Herbert's offensive line is ass, and then Burrow's just coming off of injury. You might need him.
Well, it depends. If it's like a 14-team league or something like that, I can understand keeping away a starting quarterback.
Yeah, and the trade deadline is most likely gone already, so you can't even. Damn, yeah. Just drop Troy Franklin. Hopefully Reed comes back and pops off because they need wide receivers that can catch the ball. So if he's able to do that, I'm sure he'll see a lot of targets. But my bad. So we were talking about the Magic here with obviously Jace is a rookie, but you see what you have in Tyus. Tyus is not a rookie, and you see the type of production he's giving you. You see the type of effect that it's having on his team when it comes to that plus minus, his effect that it's having to wins and losses, which is very heavily leaned towards the loss side. So let's give Jace this time now, especially even with Paulo out. Let's give Jace the time now while we have the minutes to give him to see what he can do, to see how he fits into this offense. And even if he doesn't become a starter off this, at least we know we can feel comfortable with the 15 minutes to 20 minutes that we can give him. And he knows how to flow with everybody. He knows the flow of the offense. He's somebody that can get his own shot. He's somebody that he needs some help on defense. He's a smaller guy, but he still has the hustle. He still has the want
competes. To. Yep, he competes, fights over the screen, gets up into the ball handler as a smaller guard. Just something Tyus doesn't do. I know Tyus brings you other things, but those things haven't translated enough for me to say, nah, man, like keep him keep him playing over Jace. Like I think we're past that point. I think Jace is deservedly of all the Tyus minutes, all of them,
100%. We gotta. I know he's a rookie, but you got to find out what your rookie got. I mean, you can have a diamond in the rough when it comes to these rookies, and you'll never know until you actually give them the minutes. But that kind of brings us into our next topic here, and our last topic for the night, which is this rookie right here, Mr. Knueppel. Now, as you can see, Mr. Knueppel is the leader for Rookie of the Year. Now, we spoke about the rookies coming into the season, how we felt about our favorite rookies, who we felt had the better chance of winning Rookie of the Year. I don't think any of us spoke about Knueppel. We spoke about him being like a good player, but we never took him serious when it came to Rookie of the Year. Am I wrong on that?
No, you're not wrong at all. We all thought Ace Bailey was going to be the guy because he would have all the shots available, but Larry Markkinen takes all the shots and makes all the shots there. So that hasn't changed. I don't think Knueppel actually got any attention because he played at Duke with Cooper Flagg. And obviously when you have the number one prospect, the number one 2B, a lot of the attention doesn't go your way. And then even on that team, a lot of Cooper Flagg was pretty much ball dominant, being the whole offense running through him. This guy is really good, like efficient. Kind of reminds me of like a JJ Redick type of release, but with just a little bit more defensive upside, like a higher floor when it comes to that. He's actually very, very, very freaking good. And the other guy that's on this list, Derek Queen, man.
Yes. Okay, let me go back to him.
Yeah, he's actually very good to where they may have a few conversations with Zion Williamson moving forward if they're gonna keep this guy, because even with Zion, without Zion, this team could just not get it together.
So coming into the season, I was very critical, and I'm still critical when it came to the trade that got them Derek Queen. I still would not have done that trade. Now, again, that had nothing to do with Derek. Well, it had a little bit to do with Derek Queen, just because he's not the type of player that's going to, like we spoke about Cooper Flagg, to where you can't just put him on the Mavericks and expect him to completely take over and now change the trajectory of a whole franchise and stuff like that. Derek Queen was going to fight an uphill battle no matter how great he was going to be in his rookie season, just because the team around him isn't great. And their best player is eventually going to miss time. He just does it. I'm not hoping that he does, but he just does it. That's just what he does. Same thing with Anthony Davis. So Derek Queen has been popping off recently. He started off a little slow, but now he had this crazy battle against Joker, where he was getting the better of Joker in a lot of these possessions. And that was insane to see. Not that Joker's this like amazing defender or nothing like that, but Joker's a smart player. He's super smart. So even if you can beat him with speed, he's still going to use his IQ to get into the right spot to just make the shot a little more challenging, to make the pass a little harder to get off. But Derek Queen was having his way with him. And it's great to see. I think, which is insane. I think Cooper Flag is still too high on this damn list. If anything, I would put Derek Queen number 2.
I would too. And VJ. I mean, VJ, I
VJ's
know
number 3. Yep.
I know the Magic are killing the 76ers, but he's had a great start to his career. I honestly think the reason why the 76ers are the way they are, yes, Maxi's actually very, very good and the best player on that team. VJ actually complements him very, very well, and he is very explosive as well. I think I have Cooper probably at 4, but I think VJ should be talked about a little bit more because he is very, very good.
Coming out the gate,
he was the looks of it, actually.
I was going to bring that up too. I didn't notice that he was out today. So that definitely helps you guys a lot. But regardless, I think you guys are still a better team. So it should have been a win, probably just not by that margin.
Nah, maybe just by 23.
No, but yeah, VJ Edgecombe was somebody that came out the gate hot, so everybody was talking about him. He's been slowing down since then, but even he started off so hot that even with him slowing down, he's still playing at rookie of the year level. But to talk, let's focus on the man of the hour a little bit. Knueppel has been going absolutely ham, and now what works to his advantage, which was something that I thought that might work to his disadvantage, is the team that he's playing for.
Yeah.
This is LaMelo's team. But LaMelo is somebody that, even though he chucks up a lot of shots, he does like to move the ball around too. He gets excitement and energy from getting assists and stuff like that. So he's a point guard. And he plays that position. Now, with Knueppel, though, I thought that the team around him would be so bad that even if he did good, he wouldn't do good enough to put him in the position. And then also because the team is so bad, he wouldn't get the focus that he's doing good to where he would be even in the conversation. But it seems like he's benefiting from the team around him somehow. And he's able to show how good he is because the people around him aren't as good. Other than LaMelo Ball, there's nobody on this team. I know what's their young boy that they drafted a couple of years ago, Brandon, because his name is not here right now. Brandon, not Ingram.
Miller.
Brandon Miller has been coming in and out of the rotation. So I did notice that when Brandon isn't playing, Knueppel goes off even more. But even in the couple of games that Brandon has played, Knueppel, these are all-star numbers.
In the East, yes, they are.
In the East, of course. That's right. I should have mentioned that part because that's a huge deterrent when it comes to these numbers. But no, when it comes to the East, he's putting up some great numbers. He's being very efficient. We knew he was a good shooter, but 43% from 3-point is insane. 50% from the field is great. He also has some size on him, so he's even getting active on the boards, even as a guard. I think he can average more assists if LaMelo wasn't there, just because LaMelo's so ball dominant and he runs the offense as he should as the point guard. But he's somebody that can also get some of these. Hold on, wifey update.
Oh yeah, sure. She's behind.
No, this came in a couple of minutes ago.
Okay.
Listen, we were talking about your Magic. Hopefully you either saw it or you rewind to it, because we were definitely giving him a lot of love. Absolutely killing right now. But yeah, Knueppel easily number 1 when it comes to the rookie of the year, and I think he can run away with it because I don't see anything really changing on the team that's going to change his trajectory. When it comes to these other players like VJ Edgecombe, amazing player, but then what happens with the Embiid? What happens with McCain getting healthy enough to where he's back into a regular rotation
rhythm?
Right. So there's stuff that you could see deterring him a little bit, and then Derek Queen, I think his numbers could get even better, but then also I don't know what the hell is going on with that team. I just don't like it. It's just something that comes with the Pelicans that rubs me the wrong way, that I think it's going to mess with Derek Queen's chances. Cooper Flag, they're trying to shove into the number 1 spot. If it was up to them, they'd write it in permanent marker. But
so Just to throw a curveball. Look at the defensive player of the year. Speaking about trying to shove somebody in our face. Right, just down there. Like,
You know why though? It's the Thunder.
yeah, it's the Thunder, but it's also their record. But we know like Wemby is probably one of the better defensive players we've ever seen in our lifetime.
This is only his second year.
Yeah, and I know, I mean, Holmgren is not a slouch either. I know that he's good, and I know who he plays for, and I know what their record is and their point differential and all that stuff. But, and I know they have the number one defense in the NBA, and they're gonna have to probably give it to that one person. But come on, let's be,
bro. 1.5 blocks. And 0.7 steals.
I saw that, and it kind of ticked me off a little bit. So
what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? He doubles his blocks and has more steals than him. It doesn't make any sense. You just pissed me off. I didn't even pay attention to the defensive player of the year. That's insane, bro. That's wild.
Just for fun, just keep scrolling down, see what we got right before we end this thing.
Just so we can clutch. I don't know how to determine like who. How do you deter? Like, is it only game-winning shots or something like that? Like, what gives you?
I think it's most points within
the fourth quarter.
Last, I know. I think it's like the last 2 minutes of the game in a close game. I don't know. There's who won? I know De'Aaron Fox won it. I think Jalen Brunson also.
I think Brunson last year
won it last year.
That's what I think of when I think of clutch player of the year. The way that Brunson was playing last year when it came to the fourth quarter and overtime games and stuff like that, like he just completely took over.
Yeah, it might be, but I know Detroit has been in a bunch of close games, and Cunningham actually has been coming through, so I can see that. And
too low, way too low.
Yeah, dude, I'm just like, why is John Morant ahead of Paulo? That's all I want to know. I mean, other than he's playing games and like. And then, of course, they just have to put
the same
out there.
They have the same, yeah. That don't count. But Josh Giddey's above him.
Well, he's playing, I guess. That's the only more games played.
Brunson, okay, yeah, he gets a lot of points.
Dude, so I have to say this because I was telling Ryan, the Knicks still have a Brunson problem, and it's not like how I want it to come across. It's not that Brunson is the problem. I just think that Brunson is so good and so efficient that it kind of takes everybody out of the equation. So they kind of overfeed him, force feed him. And I mean, to his credit, he does make all the plays, but I don't think he can do it by himself. He may, but now that with all these injury issues and all this other stuff, I have to see more from Cat. I really do. And I know that's probably what Knicks fans are saying, is that he's a defensive liability. He still is. I need Cat to play like just a winning player. Like, don't be empty stats, Cat. Be actual affecting winning Cat. That's all I have to say about the Knicks at the moment without Ryan here. After that, we can get into a bunch of discussion.
Well, the problem with me when it comes to the Knicks is if you look at their roster, OG, Bridges, Brunson, Hart, not so much. Let me see what Hart is at 20 million. And then Cat. They have 4 players that they're paying crazy amount of money to. Mm-hmm. But they act like Brunson's basically the only person there. Like, I would like to see them lean more on the rest of the team every once in a while, especially knowing that Brunson's a guy that he doesn't need to get up a bunch of shots to get in a rhythm. He can kind of just get it going whenever he needs to. Get your other guys involved more. Like, what is the point of giving up all those firsts for Mikal Bridges, giving all that money to OG and Ginobili if you have them playing as just regular ass role players? Mm-hmm. It makes no sense to me. Josh Hart just got moved to the bench this year, and he was trending that way since last year. What is the point of having this amazing team around Brunson if you only use Brunson as the team?
What's crazy is that sometimes their second or third best player when they're playing is Shamet, and he
Schmidt,
was
Shamit.
what, like Shamit, sorry. He was wasn't on a team like until literally like halfway through the season last year, and then he came on with the Knicks and did very well, and now he's stuck around, and at times he is like their second best player.
And he only was getting minutes in the playoffs. He wasn't really
Correct.
playing in the regular season, and it was only in the playoffs because they were just throwing their hands up. They didn't know what the hell to do anymore because they kept finding themselves in bad situations where it's like, we need a spark from someone. Okay, oh, you play for the Knicks, get in there. And they were like, oh shit, he's actually pretty good. And that's another problem, to where last year they spent so much time just playing their starters and only their starters that you couldn't really see the players around them, which is back to the Magic, to where this is the perfect situation for you guys for the moment, to where you can find out what it is that's around the rest of the team from man 1 to man 11 on the bench, and you can kind of figure it out now so that you don't have the same situation to where you make it to the playoffs and you don't know what the hell to do because now there's someone that's injured, or you just have a bad matchup that you're going against when you're matched up against one of these other Eastern teams. You know who works with who works for what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are before you get into this playoff situation. With the Knicks last year, they didn't figure it out until they had to, and it was already too late at that point. And now this year now they got a whole new system. So they again have to figure it out.
Yeah, correct. Anyways, I just wanted to throw those 2 cents out there, just from what I just literally visually just saw. Is that they're, and again, Brunson's very capable. I'm not saying anything to the contrary.
No, amazing player.
He's a great player. I think they lean a little bit too much on him.
Yeah, that's an issue. So before I let you go, I need your help here. I need a name for this guy. It's been bothering me the past 2 days. It's just been getting bigger and bigger.
Dude, those suck. Like, I used to get them like around my nose right here, dude, where I used to feel it like all through my face. Yeah, like I used to have conversations with them and all that.
No, he's here for 2 more days, then he's just gonna have to find a job or something, because you can't just be on my face and not just pulling any weight. But before we sign off here, is there anything else that you want to say to the people, to the Magic, to the Steelers, to the fans?
No, just overall, everybody have a nice Thanksgiving. Just be safe, enjoy your family. Yeah, we'll see you. We'll enjoy football, enjoy basketball, enjoy everything that's coming our way, and yeah, just be safe out there.
I love it. I second that as well. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, whatever it is that you celebrate, whatever it is that you call it. They got new names for it now. Just obviously, again, be safe. Have fun, but be safe. And just because you're being safe doesn't mean the people around you on the road are also being safe. Always be aware of where you at. Be aware of your surroundings. If you're a girl, be aware of where you're drinking, cover your drinks, all that type of stuff. It's a great time. And when sports is coming, we have 3 football games on Thursday, basketball seasons in the swing of everything, and everything's all happy and stuff like that. But there's a lot of bad in this world still. So be careful, be safe. We love you guys. Thank you for coming out. Macho Talk Sports, episode 17. I'm Macho. That was Daniel. We are